didn't stop. I didn't say that because my mom passed away, I have to stop going to university. We have been brought up with my junior brother, and I decided first of all to stop my study and help me first of all to finish what I'm supposed to do. He finished his college, and right now I got my degree. He finished also, he got his degree in IT. This kind of story I share with you is that we have faithful members in Congo. We have faithful leaders in Congo. But the main issue, the main challenge they have is to be self-reliance in their life. You know, we cannot hope to help others if you are on the bottom line. We have to lift up our life to help the other one. And I think this initiative we start now with our department, with the church, with the leaders, will help a lot. If I can make another request, even $1 can change life. $5 can change life. You don't know how many lives you can save by joining this effort. We have seen a lot of change happen in the life of our members. We start something and start paying the tithing and start paying the first offerings. And you know, the windows of heaven will be open to them if they are continuing to pay their tithing. So, the second part of our presentation, I would like to talk about the Perpetual Education Fund in the DRC. As you can see and read this quote from President Hinckley, saying that the Lord doesn't want to wish to see his people condemned to life in poverty. And honestly, I believe that he wants to see his people to enjoy the good thing of earth. We came to you request that help if you can do something, because the need is extremely huge for our brothers and sisters. For the case of PF, for the case of education, we set up PF step in DRC, I think 2 years ago now. And we got many loans. The church approved many loans for many participants for that program. And the students are doing the preferred trainings that can lead them to get a job according to the job market. Because the church cannot sponsor the training that we get many times, because we need the training that after you made it, you get a job. Like IT training, human resource training, logistic training, English training, especially for translation training, driving, machinery, painting, and so on. By the way, all the training has a challenge, And the challenge, they need to be more proficient in what they are doing. They need to be good in what they are doing, in what they are doing in the training. For example, for the IT students, most of them, when they go to a school like Cisco, like Cisco, like Telesol, they are gaining courses. By the way, for the homework, they need practice. And you know, in IT, without practice, you cannot be good. You cannot reach the high standard in what you are doing. That is why we request a few times ago the help from the West here, if the government can help us to get even a used laptop that can help that IT student to do their homework and to be good in what they are doing. We get a contact of this foundation, Applied Technology Foundation, that will be managed by it's there. We get, as you can see, we have visited them yesterday. We get 22 laptops. We get 22 laptops as we gave to those PF students. And all of them are so happy to receive these tools. And they are sending us many success stories. They say, without this tool, I cannot be able to do my homework, and I cannot be able to do my practicing at home. Because this laptop helped me a lot to do what I'm supposed to. Even in marketing, if they are doing marketing training, it's a request for them to have the laptop, because they have to set up the software right to this one. Right now we have like 400 students for PF in DRC. And from that number we have like 60% who are doing the IT training. Like 240 who are doing IT training. Why? Because according to the local market, we are thinking that is the good training that can lead them to get fastly a job. If they cannot get a job in the company, they can create themselves what's supposed to do. Yeah, as you can see, this is the right figure now for PF. We have 400 approval loans in Kinshasa, and more are on the way to come. We got the approval from Church Agriculture to expand the program in other city called Lubumbashi. We got the approval to start with 90 students to test the program. If they are working very well, everybody qualified for the program will get the loan. With the new PF Self-reliance program, right now in PF we have some exceptions regarding age and mission requirement. If you didn't serve a mission, that will be difficult for you to get a PF loan. If you are over age, like more than 35 for DRC, you cannot get a loan. But now, those exceptions, we need to consider them. No age exception, neither no mission exception. It means that everybody now will be able to get a PF loan. That means that we can now double or triple the number we currently have now. If right now we have 400, it means that in the coming time we can have 800 or 1,000 PF students in Kinshasa only. So it's just some figure I think to share with you. It means that in Lubumbashi we can get like 200, 300 loans that will be approved very soon. We are on the way also to open or a city like Kasai, which we think the need is very, very huge. Students are willing when they are going to start PF over there. The city like Luputa, they are waiting to start the self-employment program. And as you can see, the need is very, very, very huge. And we need used laptops. That is our request. We need used laptops that can help the student to be more efficient in what they are doing right now in this time.
Yeah, so maybe I think maybe Randy can say something about the used laptop, the process. I think Loyal is our main contact here, and Randy is the owner of Applied Technology.
Well, this all started kind of interestingly. We last October, Brother Stagg. Do I need to be up here? Brother Stagg, whom some of you know, contacted, I think, Lowell through an email group that he was part of, as those that support DR Congo. And it was just perfect timing because myself and a couple of partners had just founded Applied Technology Foundation within weeks before that. And our primary goal was to refurbish computers and provide them to those in need. And be able to have the contact of having a good, reputable place to place the computers. That was one of our fears of somebody taking advantage of our computer generosity and not really being qualified. But through Didier and Russell, we've been able to help with some of the getting some of the computers through. We've had donors from Oregon, from Christensen's have had a couple of computers. We've had a number of others that have brought those in. And what we do is we make sure that the computer has basic components to run an operating system, whether it's Windows or Linux. Because of the licensing issues, it's difficult sometimes to always supply Windows, and they can get Windows cheaper and better than we can. So we'll provide Linux as an opportunity to test the machine and make sure that it's functional, and then get them over there. We've got a number of challenges. One is that laptops seem to be used and abused a lot more than other computers. And so by the time we get them, they're difficult to refurbish. We have a room of maybe 30 laptop computers that are missing some component, whether it's RAM or a hard drive or the power supply or something that's missing. And so as we get donations, as we get more parts and things, we're building and making computers as we go to get those. So we're looking to make arrangements with companies that have sales teams or others that have computers that they're constantly turning over and refurbishing. So if you know of companies that have those kind of resources that are looking, especially now that Windows XP is going away, they're looking now to replace those computers. And those are perfectly good computers to provide to the PES students. They still have a lot of life in them. It's just a matter of getting the connections to get a hold of those computers so that we can make the connections. Our second challenge is logistics and getting them to DR Congo. Last fall, Russell, you took 4 in your baggage? 8 computers in baggage. We've had a few others that have traveled back and forth. Christensen's took some laptops with them. And, we've got 3 more to send back. In fact, I think you've got some more from Logan, too. So there's a good process here, and we appreciate being a part of it. So.
Thank you so much. So, you know, with PF, the PF cannot buy or pay for the laptop, but they can pay for the training and all the tools. Or if someone are doing IT, must practice. So this is why we try to set up this kind of program, use laptop. So, and also another reason is when someone get PF, he must pay back. He must pay back his loan. And with some student who got already the used laptop, you know what they did? They create also a business with that. They just buy the modem, the internet modem, and going in the school. There is some people who would like to make a research and use his laptop and the modem and get some money for that, and then he can pay back easily the loan from PF. So it means that one laptop, used laptop, can help a lot, can bless the life of someone. So thank you so much for the one who already give, and you never know that what is doing in the life of people. Thank you so much.
Earlier this week, I gave Randy to make a deposit. I think it was two $50 checks and 3 $100 checks. If there's anyone who wants to do some contributing, I have a way here you can do it. Who the address is, or credit card, or money, or whatever. So anyone who wants to do something, we're after the laptops and the money to help them. That's not the only reason I brought you, but that, as long as you're here, you know, if I need to make some more of these, I'll run off a couple more copies.
You got that one email.
Right. Yeah, it's on the bottom of all the emails I sent out originally, but that's why I just went in and copied.
Yeah, our last points are lead us to the orphanage project. I want to tell you that we have a huge problem, people of children in DRC. We have a war at the east of the country, and this war has a consequence over the country. Some of the children are away out of home because of the war, and the other things that the social situation in the US put most of the children in the bad conditions. I don't know how to express it in English, but in the US you have a phenomenon what you call sorcellerie, enfants sorciers. Can you explain les enfants sorciers?
Oh, well, sorcery.
Yeah. So sometimes in home you can, if a father or if a mom doesn't succeed in the business, doesn't get a job, they say because of this child at home I didn't find a job, and most of the time they get him out, go out because of you didn't get a find a job, and this phenomenon is create this kind of situation in the DRC, and we get a lot of children outside they are on the road, they are sleeping on the streets, and it's so difficult for them. So there are a lot of many orphanages in Kinshasa, and sometimes they are getting a help from the Catholic Church, or sometimes also from the senior LDS missionary couples, and the need also for the orphanage seems to be a big problem. The orphanage can have children in their land, but unfortunately there is no food, there is no water, there is no money to send them to the school, and it's a big problem. Recently, Russell and other brethren had made a visit of one orphanage in Kinshasa, and I would like to share with you a video of that orphanage and see what's happening in Kinshasa.
Is that the one that flooded?
In Mbaya, I think you have been there. Yeah, with Sister
Kariba.
Yeah, I think so. And this one will work.
You need sound again?
Close your eyes.
orphanage with Brian last month. I think he would like to share his feeling on what he saw. But this one is taking care of with to his sister, his mom of the church. And what she's doing is just going around and take the children in the street and take care of them, try to teach them the gospel. One of them is one of the girl. He should go in the mission this year. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we visit. There is no good bedroom and many things. Brian, can you share something?
Yeah, sure. So we visited one of the anti-white groups. There were one of the precursors of the Self-reliance program that we're launching now throughout the world, and it's a self-employment group. And at the end of the group, we asked to see maybe a success story if someone had gone through the group, and we visited this sister, and she was in one of the first groups. She started a small business humbly, selling maize, different kinds of maize, manioc. From there, she decided to do a little more down the line. She made flour out of those products, selling flour. Then she began a catering business, preparing food, selling that. And it was a really neat example because it was an example of someone that was able to become self-reliant. And the first thing, well, right away, she started serving other people. So she began, she started this orphanage, she started a small school for pre-K kids that, difficult to get teachers because she couldn't afford to pay the teachers, but all these children would just be on the street during school. She started a sewing class, a sewing school for teenage mothers that were pregnant when they were teenagers and didn't have too many more prospects. And it was really neat to see, you know, that all the children that were there went to church with her. The church was probably 20-minute walk from there, Russell. So she took them all to church. The little boy that she was showing here, one leg was a lot shorter than the other leg. And if you heard her speaking at first, she was talking about how the mother of the boy, you know, used to beat him, and probably his condition was probably happened when he was a baby. But he was the little boy that was right there, was the one that sang "How Great Thou Art," and then they sing a couple other songs later. But it was a really neat experience, you know, to see someone reach out as soon as they become self-reliant.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So this is what we would like just to share in brief. We talked about micro funding for the microfinance, micro business, and also we talked about education. We've used laptop, and some time about the the sponsoring. We have a young man who would like to come and be leaders. Maybe try to come and try to study here. This is why we are trying to see with Dan if we can find some sponsor. They can come study and go back home and be a good leader. So these kind of things we are trying to see, and also about orphanage that we see. We said they need used gloves, shoes, toys, and something like that.
How can they get sent there? That's another problem of getting the objects there.
This is the problem, the shipment. So for now, for example, in Logan, we got many clubs, but we cannot go with that. But as I told you, Bishop Aaron is thinking how he can organize the shipment. So if you have anything, you can take it to Lowell, and Lowell will try to talk with Aaron, and then they will organize the box, and then we can ship and get it home and try to help people. So the non-profit that Bishop Aaron and Lowell and Randy will try to set up here, and also in Kinshasa, this will help a lot about shipment, about how things can come. So in the end, we thank you a lot because you bring the gospel. Some of you are our mission president and couple, and we thank you a lot for your love, for the things that you did in DRC. And for now, the church is growing, and we need also the leaders. We need to prepare the leaders by all these kind of things that we talked about. So I can tell you, like you know, people are suffering, but they have a faith. They know how to sing, they have an AP, so you have your own problem also. Everybody has their own problem, but I think we need to be as Zion. One heart, and also there is no kind of poorness between us. So this kind of initiative can help you to have part of your heart always in DRC, because DRC is part of you.
Yes.
It's like your second home.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing this afternoon and for your time, for everything. It was our pleasure to see, to meet you. And thank you for everything you did. Thank you.
I think we can be very impressed with the growth of the church, but it's more than just joining the church. They are doing something with these people after they're there. And yeah, Danny, if you want to start on some refreshments over there, maybe we could ask the Christians while they're getting refreshments ready, just to come and take a minute or two and say, what? They just came back from the Congo today. As to what they've been doing, which is not this part of it, but it's another great thing.
I just wanted to say something, and maybe somebody here knows a little more, but I was, okay, when you were talking about getting the local people to help build things, I was back in Kinshasa a year ago, April, to go visit the mission, and George Bonet, whose Temple Affairs in South Africa, was there when I was there, and we went out to a ward house that they were building. You know how they rent all the buildings? They had rented all the buildings in the past for the wards. And so they had this project going, and it was a model project, and they were building a chapel, a ward building, and it was modular. So they make rooms that they can add on. And the way that's designed, they add on these rooms. And so I was there seeing it happen, and one of my former missionaries had on his little hard hat and his little orange outfit, and he was one of the workers there. It was so fun to see that they're starting to use our local people for these projects. So maybe some of you know more about it, but I was just excited to share that, to see it happening, and that they're going to maybe be the ones building the temple too. So, yay! Progress!
Reed, you want to tell them something? I'll get some ice cream out.
Come on. We go together.
We're working. She's definitely not shy.
I am too, aren't I?
Well, we're working with the immunization, and we have been for a while, and that's why we were back there, was to get more children vaccinated and to get the members. It was a three-part plan that President Hinckley started. He wanted to make sure that all the members' children got vaccinated. Number two, he wanted to get more children vaccinated. And number three, he used the couples to teach the members how to be of service to the communities. How did we do that, Marie?
Well, we went back in 2010 to help with this. It's a two-part project that we do. We work with the members, teaching them basically the importance of immunization as far as their children are concerned. Mainly, usually, measles and polio, which are two very top priorities as far as the DRC is concerned. Well, a lot of developing countries is concerned. And so, as Van said, we do a training with them on just some basic education about those diseases, and then to go door to door with a pamphlet that has been approved by the Ministry of Health on letting their neighbors know, regardless of what tribe they're from or what religion they're in, whatever, but to teach each other how to serve one another. And then we also have funds, meaning the church, has funds to help the Ministry of Health in getting the word out, and those things that they're lacking, whether it be banners or posters or maybe megaphones to, get that word out in the community. So that's part of it. When we went back in 2010, we went around the whole country and worked with the members and the Ministry of Health. But then we were sent to Haiti in 2012 and 2013. And we did the same thing in Haiti in 2012, but in last year when we went back, the church really wants to have the countries become self-reliant, and for the members there to take charge and not just grow like these good brothers, who are now state presidents and who are the leaders of the church in the DRC, but also to help them become self-sufficient and self-reliant in other things. And so they want locals to be teaching their own people how to do things. And so in Haiti last year, we worked with the area presidency, and they had someone called, a couple actually called as service missionaries. It was a 3-year call. They were local Haitians, and we just went and we taught them what we knew. And while we were there, we had them work with us as far as training us, so that they'd be practicing, and then they could turn around and train their own people in this initiative. And so we thought that it would be, the question was asked: is the DRC ready to be able to do this on their own? And we thought, of course they're ready. Of course they're ready. I mean, we've got strong, faithful members there, and so Brother Casa, Laurent Casa, and he is in, is he in yours? No, in Kinshasa, Moncafula. And he is a 42-year-old young man, and we spent quite a bit of time with him this past week, just doing some training with him, and then we had him do a training with each a representative from each state in Kinshasa, and we sat back and we just let him on. And I mean, all of the shyness that was there on the surface just kind of left, and he just did such a wonderful job. And so we know that it's in good hands, and we just will work with him back and forth over the internet, and he'll have the Johnsons. But that's basically what we've been doing, and so it was really heartwarming for us to go back and see the growth in the church there. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing to see what the gospel does. And, all of us who've been there, we know that. I've often said to them that people like Eustache that we have amongst us were sent to Africa because of the quality of people that they are, because their country needed them. And I really believe that the Lord needed this kind of quality of faithful priesthood holders to lead their people. And we've all seen it. We've seen it change people's lives in Africa. And that is the only thing that really is going to change. I don't think the government is ever going to change people's lives. But I really, truly, and we all feel that's what will change people's lives, the gospel in Africa. And as we see them rise from a missionary to a state president to an Area 70, to probably, we were talking, I can't remember who we were talking to. Well, it was George Bonnet we were talking to just this past week there in Eustache's office. And, you know, he said that it probably won't be too far down the road when it'll be a local mission president. It will no longer be, you know, I mean, the growth of the church is amazing. So I'm glad to just see this report because when we were in Bujimayi this past week as well, President Kidima, who is the district president there, I asked him, you know, how's the growth here? We've seen it in Kinshasa, and we know that we now have a district, but how's the growth, you know, how are the members doing? And he said, you know, they're doing well, except that our return missionaries come home and they leave because there are no jobs and there's nothing for them. And as we were talking to President Mbaya here and Didier a little earlier today, you know, they said that they are looking now at taking PEF into Bujimayi, which is a wonderful thing. But I just want to bear my testimony that I know that this is the Lord's work, and wherever we're involved and however we're involved in the DRC, and we all have a special place there's in our hearts for the DRCs and the people that we have gotten really close to. They've become our family, haven't they? I mean, they really have. They've become our family. Saying goodbye to Eustache was harder than saying goodbye to my own kids here. It really was. That's, you know, we all know that there's an eternal plan and that we're here working together so that one day we can sit together at Heavenly Father and the Savior's feet. And so I know that we're involved in the work that's led by the Lord, and I believe that in Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Thank you. Yes.
I'm sorry, but you said something about how we come together, and something I've noticed in what I've been doing through the internet and Skype and such with President Mbaya and other folks is that it finally, I've been impressed by, there's people from about 60 different countries in Twin Mormons, the Facebook group that I'm running, and we just plug and play. It's not just from state to state here, but across the world we see the people coming together. And I finally realized, as each of us leaves our part of the world to become like Christ, we also become like each other. And Christ prayed in the garden that we would be one, and then he gave us a gospel and a church that brings us to become that. And so people say that Mormons are different. I disagree. We're alike. As I look at the different parts of the world fighting with each other, they're different. We're alike.
Thank you. I think we'll give you time to do some talking together if you want, but let's have a blessing on the refreshments, and you can one by one.